Oh, the people at Jamestown, the tech team was so helpful when I called them. In the last video, I had put the white two-part Epiphanes primer on here, and it just really, what's the word I'm looking for? It just showed up all the really bad spots where it's just not fair. You can see there even the ripples, and that's kind of where I left off in the last video. I was kind of frustrated. When I called the tech team at Jamestown, they suggested that I use Total Fair, which I thought to use anyway. I'd seen Leo from Tips with a Shipwright use it, and so I got a pretty basic understanding of what the product's like. It's got rave reviews. This will be my first time using it, but I think this is gonna fix my issues. They did suggest that I sand this with 80 grit, which I've done, and you can see where I kind of got through the primer just a little bit. There's a tendency to try to make it smooth, and honestly, it looks way better sanded than I thought it did. Some of these lines here that you can see through from the cold molding, I at first thought that those were not smooth. They're very smooth, and it's just that the primer didn't cover it enough to make them disappear. So anyway, now I vacuumed this, but even just touching it like that, I've still got sanding residue on here. So I think I'm just going to take some water and a sponge, and they say there's no amine blush with this with the Epiphanes two-part epoxy primer, but it can't hurt to just wipe it down with water and get all that dust off. I was using my my shop vac, and after kind of some trial and error, I kind of finally figured out that this little brush attachment, that's absolutely the best thing to use for cleaning some of that up. But anyway, that's where we're at. Once I get the Total Fair on here, and there's going to be places where I don't have to do it at all. You know, that area right there definitely does need some. Here, pretty smooth. My forward sections up near the bow, that's you got those complex curves, and that's where I've got my biggest issues. So that's where we're going to concentrate on first. But I don't know. God dang, the lines on this thing are just so pretty. All right, more as we make more. This stuff's cool. I just got a scrap piece of plywood here, and I'm mixing it up. I mixed up one batch already. Somebody on Wooden Boat Forum on Facebook said just go slow, make small batches. So that's what I did. And I already got some up here on this forward part. So it's going on pretty good. It takes a while, but got to get it on there and get this smoothed out. So anyway, I'm going to mix this little batch up and then put it on. It's kind of hard to know if you got equal amounts, but I guess it's kind of forgiving. So, all right, more soon. So I'm right in the middle of doing this, and it gets real hard to tell if you're covering up and filling in the spots that you need to. So I got this lamp, this floor lamp, and it's got a spotlight in it. And so when I do that, I'm seeing places now where I'm going to have to go back, like down in here. That I need a little bit there. And sometimes you have to kind of stand and look at it kind of sideways. Okay, so like here, there's little divots right there. So you can see that where the light's on there. See? But you can't see it. Yeah, I've been putting this on here without the light, and before I sanded the epoxy or the primer, it isn't epoxy. Before I sanded it, everything was glaring, and then once I sanded it and dulled it down, then and you couldn't see it so much. So anyway, I'm glad I got this lamp on here. Hopefully we'll get enough light on there that we can really see where these imperfections are, and then go from there. I got a whole batch mixed up, so I got to get back on it. Okay, well, we're getting there. I've got just almost all of this side done. I'm almost done with the other side as well. We'll go over there and look in a second because I want to show you something. But and I'm done all the way to the bow on both sides. I had bought a quart, the 2-quart kit of this. You can see I'm almost out. So anyway, we'll hopefully mix up maybe 2 more batches, but I think that should do it. I had been using one of these little spatula deals that I just bought at the hardware store, like a little putty knife, plastic putty knife. I broke one. I've come to find out that this is really good for mixing it, and I'm just mixing it on plywood. But this little spreader that I got from Jamestown Distributors, this little plastic, it's real flexible. This is way better for applying this. And I wished I would have known that or figured that out sooner. I had mentioned that the light helps to see the spots where you've got the imperfections. But then something else that I've noticed is sometimes I'll see a spot and then I'll go turn my head away to get a little dab of the fairing compound, and then I turn back around and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, where was that? Because it's hard to see it sometimes. And you do kind of have to move around to see where the spots are that need attention. So anyway, on this side, I thought, I'm going to just go ahead and mark some places with pencil marks. Just look real carefully and see them, mark them with a pencil mark, and then I know that those are spots that I need to hit. So you can see on here, I've got pencil marks all over the place. And I want to try to hit especially down there on the shear, you can even see that it's rough down there without the pencil mark. But anyway, so I'm hoping that helps and we'll be able to hit those spots. And since I'm running out of this stuff, I'm going to hit the worst spots first. And if I have to mix up and thicken some epoxy, we'll just do that. So anyway, almost done with this, and then we'll be down to sanding. I want to again say thanks to the Jamestown Distributors Tech team. You're all just awesome. Thank you. If you like the video, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.